Alright guys, today we are going to be doing a carburetor and fuel lines on a stihl hl100 pole saw. All the parts, fuel lines, everything will be in the description below. I go through 100 or 2 every month of these stihl carburetors in my shop. I get them on Amazon. They're super cheap. Out of every 100 or 200, I may get one that doesn't work. I just mail it back and get another one. You know, they come within 24 hours usually. Fast and cheap. Let's see here, just so you can see. So first thing we're going to do is take out this T27 torque. Take this air filter cover off. If you don't have one of these tools yet, I'll put this in the description below as well. It's your torque. The small socket is your spark plug for this pole saw. The big socket is the spark plug for most other two-stroke equipment and lawnmowers, push mowers and stuff. It also works on the big nut for your bar and chain. These are cheap as well. I'll put them in. I use this every day, many times a day. This is probably my most used tool. Alright, pop off the air filter cover. This guy didn't have an air filter in there, but normally you would pop out the air filter as well. Now you've got two 8mm nuts. Take those out. And we've got a T25 right here. Oh, that's T27 on there. T25 torque. Make sure you take that all the way out. Deal with that later. Throw this in there so I don't lose anything. This should pull straight off. Might need 2 hands. Then there's a hose right down here. That's going to have to come off. Just a vent, so you just grab this and twist it back and forth while holding the air filter, break it free, then pop it off. Alright, so we're going to remove these fuel lines on here. Let me turn this light on. So this thing is super dirty, so it's hard to see anything anyways. But we're going to take these 2 fuel lines off. Now we're going to get the carburetor out. You're going to kind of pry on the back with a big screwdriver and pull this out at the same time to get the idle screwed through it. So you take that whole thing off. There's another T25 screw down there, and just take that thing right off. So there's a tube right here, and we need to get that tube right here to break free. That's the vacuum line for the fuel pump. So we need to get it to break free, because this won't pull out. It just won't come out because it's stuck on there. So we're going to get that to, with a pair of needle nose, just grab it and twist it a few times like that. Let's see if I can do it with you seeing videoing and everything. Just going to get it to wiggle a little bit, and then maybe we can pop it out then. Okay, so that works. It comes out now. Gonna do the throttle. It just pops out the bottom. There it goes. Alright, now this should pull right out. There we go, old one is off. A little thing that you're going to need to know is for some reason, the new carburetors, where the cable hooks up, I grind it off with a grinder. It's this piece right here. Because theirs don't go all the way through. It stops for some reason, and this one goes all the way through. So then this one, you get the little flathead screwdriver on the clip. It'll be behind there. You'll be going back here on it, and you just get the little screwdriver in there, and then just pry it, and it'll pop the clip out, and you can slide that out, and then you just slide this into the new one. Oh, it looks like the new one's got a little debris in it from where I ground the other one off. So you slide this one into the new one like this, and then you just put the clip back, slide the clip back into it, and use a pair of needle nose or something to push it in. Actually did it with my finger, just popped it right in. No big deal. See, like when it's on the old one, you'll just get that flathead screwdriver right into that notch right there and just twist. Doop, pops right out. It's the only pain in the ass about these aftermarket carburetors, and that's the only one really I have to do anything for is this 4-stroke still. The rest of them are fine. I don't have anything to do with them. But it saves you 40 bucks on the freaking, it saves you more than that with the fuel lines, the filters, everything that comes with the kits. You save a good chunk of money. So, that's the trick on these, just so you know. All right, now the carb's prepped and ready to go. This right here, if you pry too hard, you stick a screwdriver under there. If you twist too fast, too hard, it'll snap that tab off and you'll never get this out. You'll have to drill it out and then get a new one. But if you just put it in there and you just give it slight pressure, just keep gradually increasing it. I need both hands because I got to hold this thing. It'll slowly pop out of there. Gradual increase in pressure. I got to use both hands. It finally popped. Just gradual pressure and get the tip in as far as you can, like get it in there, get it pried up, and then get the tip in because there's like a ledge right here. You get it up, get it pried up, and then slide it in further, and then pry more, and this thing will pop right out. Oh, look, we got tree leaves, and all kind of stuff. All right, we're gonna. Oh, that fuel line just came right off. Whatever. Pull this right on out. All right, so the short fuel line went to the fuel filter. We're going to replace all of that. We're going to go ahead and remove this fuel line and filter off the bottom. Stab the new fuel line onto the nipple. I'll find the kit that's got the actual black line on it. I had an extra carburetor and I have filters and lines, so I'm doing this way. So we're going to cut this fuel line about the same length as this. It's going to be out over here actually. It's about like there. Stab the new fuel filter on it like that. Now we're going to stab the fuel line onto this nipple. Line up the old fuel line, cut it to length. The return line had broken on it, so we're going to remove the return line. Alright, so, and then I'm going to cut this just slightly longer than that one since there's still a piece left on that one. Now we're going to go ahead and take the gas cap out of this thing. We're going to drain all the old gas out, get rid of it. There could be water or dirt or whatever in there. We're going to drain it all out and then blow it out with air. Alright, make sure everything's good and it's clean. I'm going to put the fuel filter down into the tank. Going to line the tab up. And then we're going to push down with a flathead screwdriver. And I'm going to need both hands for this because it's not going to hold. But we're going to push down kind of in the center of it and then work our way over to the outside edge of it. You'll feel it kind of click one side. And you go to the outside, and you just work your way around different flat spots where you're not going to slip and stab a hole in the tank or anything. Just even pressure, get it to pop back in. Just like that. You look down in, your filter's nice and flat on the bottom. That's perfect. That's how you want that. Alright, get these fuel lines on the outside. We're going to install the carburetor. Make sure that there's a gasket between the carburetor and the engine. Now, the important part is the vacuum line. You need to be able to push this down a little bit to get it to line up with that brass nipple. It has to be on that nipple or this will not run. It'll start on choke. As soon as you take choke off, it'll stop running. So you gotta line that up and get it on there. You can get it in there. It is a pain in the ass, but you gotta get it in there. Alright, fuel line. Short one goes to the bottom, long one goes to the top. Get it on and it's kinked like that. Pull it back off, trim a little off and put it back on. It's on nice and straight like that. With the return line on nice and smooth, no kinks. We're going to go ahead and stab the vent back on to this nipple. Before we forget it, we got to get this throttle cable hooked up again. So I'm going to push it. I'm going to push this throttle down. Let's get this twisted the right way here. Hold on. Alright, so you push this down and then you gotta get this cable in. You let go, and if you hit the trigger, it pulls it up in there the rest of the way. Now if you don't get this throttle on here, this throttle will be up slightly like this because it won't stab all the way in, and you'll have partial throttle all the time. Alright, so there's that. Then we can put this guy on. There's a gasket between that and the engine. Just using the old gaskets, they're fine. They break in half, then you can swap them out. Even if they break in half, man, a little Indian head, some shellac, you can pop it right back on. In a bind if you got to, that's what you got to do, you know? Alright. And the two 8mm nuts to hold that on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and dump some gas in here and see if she primes up. Alright, she's set up right. If it didn't prime, your line's probably hooked up backwards. What you do is you watch the filter in there when you're priming, and if you see foam come out of it, you've got your lines hooked up backwards. Alright, let's see, I gotta see if I can find a filter for this thing. Oh, we're gonna try starting this thing up. It just had it running. Let me fire it up. Alright, so it really helps if you let it run for a little bit and warm up. You got to get all the air bubbles out of the brand new carb, such like that. But now it seems to be running fine. Idling a little high. I'll do a carburetor adjustment video on this next. Okay, for now though, we're going to go ahead and finish putting this thing together. So, let us go. No, oh, like this. Alright, so we're going to put this back in place. And you got a T25 here and a T25 down bottom. Air filter. And an air filter cover. And blow that out there and then pop it on. And that's it, guys. We're up and running. I'll do another video here in a minute on how to adjust the carburetor. Just need to bring the idle down. It's usually this screw right here. Bring it down. I may have to go to this screw here. It's idle fuel mixture screw. And then there's also a tension screw on the throttle cable itself. Maybe the throttle cable itself is too tight. We'll figure all this out in the next video. Again, like I said, all the parts will be in the description below. If this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Today's t-shirt will be in the description below as well. If you want me to do any advertising for you, message me. I'd be more than happy to. Peace.